We took 2 hours to get from Shanghai to Jeju. It's our first time taking this intercity flight because we wanted to experience the contrast between the two cities. Jeju is refreshingly distinct from Shanghai, and that was what we got the moment we got to our first hotel in Jeju. For our 6 nights in Jeju, we decided to distribute it over 2 hotels. After having no bad meals in Shanghai at all, we decided to see if Jeju could offer the same. To be fair, and also because this is what we did in Shanghai, we decided to go for the most conveniently located restaurant just right beside our hotel. On today's agenda, it is to try the Jeju black pork and also the sea urchin soup. This farm-to-table meal definitely did reduce some of the jet lag we felt. Little did we know, this yellow little cafe became a pit stop for the 5 days we stayed at the hotel. While travelling, my family and I would like to ground ourselves by doing something same every day while exploring something different. In light of that, we are trying Jeju black pork, but this time in a steam style. Similar to the first restaurant, this restaurant is also Ajuma owned. We were just discussing and saying that if we lived in Jeju, there is literally not much difference in eating home cooked food versus eating at a restaurant owned by an Ajuma. Today is Christmas Eve, and so coming to this Christmas market is definitely intentional, and it's also something that we did last year in Switzerland. I wanted to show Vera the true Christmas magic that lives in this market. Aside from the festive trinkets that they sell, I think the very meaning of Christmas is when you have the right people around you. For me, festivities like Christmas is not about the full tradition of it, but rather it's about how I would like Vera growing up knowing what we did on this festivity like Christmas, and that she grows up realizing how special it was. We were warned and told that Jeju doesn't snow, and so something unexpected happened. Vera got to see her snow, and that made me so happy. And shortly after, we got dampy and cold from the snow, and so we wanted to head to Seogwipo Olle market for an early and easy dinner. As expected, the market was bustling, and it provided us with the last ounce of motivation to push through all the shops, which we realized are in perfect competition to each other, selling mostly touristy items with about the same prices. Because it is like a traditional wet market with many of their local produce on sale, I like that this acted as a form of entertainment and education to young children like Vera. She inquired about the different local produce while we waited for our food to be prepared. Nothing really special about the smoked duck except for the performative aspect. Nevertheless, I appreciated how each store tried to stand out with their own craft. This was definitely a bold statement on the freshness of the fish. Speaking of fishes, Jeju Island is known for its high quality, fresh gaoji, which is actually cutlass or belt fish. And so that inspired what we wanted to have for dinner. Coming from a tropical island like Singapore that is sunny all year round, seeing snow is something magical for my family. But also at that point, because it is moderately freezing outside, having to step into a warm hut for some warm food is definitely magical as well. And perhaps the warmth of dining in a Korean restaurant are these free refillable dishes called banchan. This is a reflection of their deeply rooted cultural tradition of hospitality known as jeong, which leaves diners feeling full. Interestingly, historically, these vegetable-heavy dishes were adopted from the Korean War and during economic downturns where vegetables were relatively cheaper than rice, and so it provided a balanced nutrition. Gaoji generally has many comb-like bones running down both sides of the central spine. To add on to the hospitality, Farah even received a little gift. The right meal with the right people is definitely the medicine to the dampiness I felt earlier, and a great way to end the night. After our second night at GoldOne Hotel, we are starting to feel more grounded, and I feel ready to settle into the quiet and peaceful Jeju and to try to live life like a local today. And of course, the first step is to eat at a place that is nearby the hotel, and this is our third time eating lunch near the hotel. As much as we try to be local, the lure of the succulent black pork that we had on day one kept luring us back for more. By day 3, I was showing Vera how language is a way to connect to people around the world. And so we started using more of 감사합니다 and 안녕. But the more we used it, and even though it may not be really accurate, but what matters most is that it's showing cultural respect. Speaking of that, we seem to be the only one amongst locals grilling black pork in this restaurant. I understand that it can be quite annoying and disrespectful, especially if the smell and the scent are getting onto your clothes without you having to try how succulent the pork is.
What are you gonna do?
Meet a new friend there.
Okay, what are you gonna say to her?
Hi.
Okay, go. I know. Try. Okay.
My child Vera is trying to make friends with this local girl whose family runs this restaurant. It's interesting to see how Koreans live in their family-owned restaurants, where this lifestyle ensures 24/7 dedication to their business, or ensuring that the legacy lives on while saving money on housing. Most of these tangerines were plucked from their garden. We were there in December, so it was optimal ripeness of these tangerines.
I feel it's already quite soft already.
After a satisfying meal, no prizes for guessing where was the pit stop. The best kind of winter is when the temperatures are cold, but the weather is sunny. This contrast is beautiful.
Maybe later when we pass by here, we should plant some red flowers up here, right?
I remember feeling really grateful about the weather, visiting Gamttanam, this tangerine cafe. Well, especially in winter, this kind of sunny weathers are hard to come by. And we are very lucky. Even though this tangerine cafe attracts mostly tourists here, I can appreciate how the styling and the atmosphere of this beautifully aesthetic cafe. Just like the other tourists, it draws us back to the slow nature of the very reason why we are here in Jeju. The thing about this cafe is that because it is so aesthetic, it is very easy to get lost in the moment of trying to capture all the aesthetic pictures. But the true moment is really just living and enjoying the moment with the people you love.
This is the Aerospace Museum. Go to space.
This is actually our second time coming to Jeju Aerospace Museum. Vera loves everything relating to space, and so when the ticketing sales closed earlier than what was stated online, Vera was really disappointed. But in the end, the Jeju Aerospace Museum outdid itself, because this is in fact the first playground we have seen in Jeju, and for every of our travels, Vera wants to go to a playground and we are always looking for them. I didn't know that as I become a parent, little things make me very happy. As I thought that I was going to have an unhurried afternoon after Gamttanam, I didn't realize that having found Vera a place where she can play and be mentally stimulated is one of the most calming things to experience.
That's how space.
As much as I try to be a local, I am appreciative that the exhibits are tourist-friendly with English interpretations. It is pretty conducive for young explorers and space lovers like Vera, and for myself where I enjoy a mentally stimulating activity in an unhurried way.
Come back again when you're 7.
After a fun day of exploring physically and mentally, the body looks forward to the reward of a restful, satisfied evening. I make a point to not set the alarm on holidays and let my body decide how much rest it needs. I can feel the restful nature of Jeju's slow living taking effect on my body on my 4th day in Jeju, because we are waking up earlier. To ride on the body's tempo with the slower pace of living, we decided to let it slow down further naturally. While on holiday, I treasure the times where routine is still resumed, and this hotel enables that. I'm grateful of this stay with GoldOne Hotel because it provided a convenient base to explore and then return home to every night. The last day of hotel stays always spearhead the spirit of finding gems around the hotel. In times like this, gems always pop up when the mind conceives it. A settling thing being a tourist is actually not getting noticed as one. Eating well is a big part of my daily routine. Having proper food on all our travels enables me to ease into a holiday in an unhurried way. Till today, when Vera is very excited to play, she is aware that lunch cannot wait because eating well is important for emotional regulation. I also find myself finding a balance between letting go of perfection as a parent, and Vera's presence has taught me how to find magic in the littlest moments. I am so grateful we followed our intuition that led us to this wonderful place to put a proper end to our first Jeju hotel stay. Needless to say, we visited the same pit stop today for the last time. For providing the consistent warmth and grounding to our bellies and emotions daily, this cafe will be remembered. As much as staying in the same hotel grounds me, the prospect of having a change of environment is always something I look forward to. The moment I stepped into MJ Resort, my gut feel felt that this was the right lodging to completely set my senses to rest. The blend of the sky and the ocean sets me in the mood of the reason why I wanted to come to Jeju Island. I can now get a glimpse of the stunning volcanic island's scenic beauty, and this view is lulling me to a state of rest. With minimal light pollution, we can see a few stars. Out of our excitement, we left our Vera's bag at the reception. It is a night that calls for celebration, and Korean barbecue close to home comes to mind. And little did we know, this restaurant that we just stepped into got us all completely smoked out. We took all the Korean barbecue smoke extractors in the earlier restaurants for granted. But since Ajumas around our table are enjoying this barbecue when they are in their 60s, why am I even complaining? Enjoying life can also mean taking the time to choose Christmas gifts for your loved ones.
I put for you a ring.
It's true that blessings can come in very small, unexpected ways.
Excited to open it later.
Later that night, the Christmas gift exchange became the highlight of my day.
Family hug.
Our last 2 nights in Jeju is getting me reflective. Whenever I try to slow down yet ramp up on the activities to explore in Jeju, the calm in Jeju just keeps pulling me back to a state of rest. I was validated on my quest on stumbling upon wholesome food everywhere I go. In my 5 days here, I am convinced Jeju is the kind of place. Over the course of my days here, I also observed that Ice Americano is arguably the locals' favourite, even during winters. During December in Jeju, sunset occurs early around 5:30 PM daily. We were just in time for an activity before it closes for the day at 5:30 PM. To keep our last night in Jeju light and slow, we decided to head to Dongmun traditional market to experience the local culture. It was extremely bustling and not quite the slow I was looking forward to. The crowd didn't make it better with the shoving and shouting, hence I decided to keep Vera in my arms for safety.
Got the necklace, we can wear it together.
Yeah.
So apparently in Jeju, soy or jjang marinated raw blue crabs are considered a delicacy. I was excited because crabs never really fail. Little did I know that tonight was more than a mere disappointment with them. I appreciated that they were caught fresh, but the tingling sensations and tight throat set my nervous system on a high alert. But tangerine mochi and fried chicken changed the tone around for the rest of the night. The breakfast overlooking the ocean with freshly squeezed Jeju mandarins were a calming start. I wanted to take exploring down a notch further to fully immerse myself in an unhurried last day. Being spiritually in tune with myself, grounding is the theme for today. Being near oceans, forests, sky and mountains are things I desired to do. Jeju Island is a volcanic landscape covered in porous black basalt rocks from Halasa mountain eruption. Walking on these ancient stone structures grounds and connects me to the soul of the island. The healing and protective energy from being near the basalt lava rocks guided us to Bijarim Forest. These scoria rocks, also the result of a volcanic eruption, hold spiritual significance for the locals. Being near them brought a healing effect and got us closer to understanding the island's ancient guardians. The raw power of Halasa Mountain's volcanoes also purifies the groundwater. Here, locals seem open to refresh with the mineral-rich water. Getting closer to Jeju Island's spiritual grounds and cultural living as the days go by, I was left with a thirst for spirituality by the end of the trip as we left Jeju Island.